Hello, dear aspirants. I'm your educator Pratiksha Chauhan on Arpita Sharma classes, the platform where you get quality lectures for your UPSC CSE preparation. We are going to cover important topics for public administration. Before we start, here is a small announcement for you. An Academy Compact, the most competitive gamified UPSC CSE battle held on every Sunday 11 a.m. Enroll now for free. Link is in the description box below the video. Use code ARPITA10 to unlock the Plus experience for free and start learning from the best. How to enroll in the quizzes for free? Download the Unacademy Learning app. Register or sign in on the app. Select the goal as UPSC CSA. Click on the link above and then on Enroll Now. When prompted, please enter the code ARPITA10 to activate your free plan. An Academy Compact is a battle to challenge thousands of learners and win exciting rewards and prizes. It's India's biggest weekly competition for UPSC CSC. Extensive quizzes with 6 rounds of 10 questions, each from economy, polity, environment, science and tech, geography, history. The questions are curated by An Academy's best educators. You will see a real-time leaderboard after every question. To instantly know the answers you got right, know where you stand among other learners in India. Detailed video solution after every contest so that you get it right the next time. Don't miss this opportunity. Hurry up, enroll now. Today's topic for public administration is administrative ethics. As we know, ethics is useful for day-to-day lives. It gives us values to understand. Even ethics is used in administration also. So let us understand how administrative ethics is used in administration. So let us begin the topic. First, we should understand why this administrative ethics is in news. Why in news? Because in 2016, the IAS Association took a strong exception to the growing use of the word Babu to refer to the officers. Then, President of the IAS Association, along with several other serving officers, called the word an abuse for Indian civil service. मतलब in 2016 जो आईएएस एसोसिएशन था उसने एक स्ट्रॉन्ग एक्सेप्शन करा जो कि वर्ड यूज हुआ था बाबू जो कि रिफ ऑफिसर्स के लिए यूज किया गया द प्रेसिडेंट जो थे आईएएस एसोसिएशन के तो सेवरल अदर सर्विसिंग ऑफिसर्स के साथ उन्होंने जो वर्ड जो बाबू यूज हुआ उसको एब्यूज डिफाइन किया फॉर इंडियन सिविल सर्वेंट्स 5 years later, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi called IAS officers Babus and derided the Babu culture on the floor of Parliament, shock is being expressed in harsh tones, even as some described it as much needed call for introspection by the community. 5 साल बाद, like 5 years later, then Prime Minister Narendra Modi also called IAS officers बाबूस उन्होंने भी नरेंद्र मोदी ने भी आईएएस ऑफिसर्स को बाबूस बोला पार्लियामेंट के फ्लोर पर यह भी एक शॉकिंग एक्सप्रेशन था ओके तो इवन एज मच डिस्क्राइब इट मच नीडेड कॉल फॉर इंट्रोस्पेक्शन बाय द community. Modi questioned the power center we have created in the country by handing over everything to Babus. Modi questioned that the power we have given that we created in the country that is hand over everything is to Babus. Babus is referred to civil servant officers. He said Babus will do everything by dint of becoming IAS officers. They will operate fertilizer warehouses and also chemical warehouses, even fly airplanes. What is this big power we have created? What are we going to achieve by handing the reins of the nation to Babus? Our Babus are also citizens, so are the youth of India. Narendra Modi said कि if we will handle everything to Babus, मतलब Babus, if we handle everything to a civil servant, he can become IAS officer, he can do operate fertilizer warehouses, chemical warehouses, even fly aeroplanes. Then देन वाई वी हैव क्रिएटेड दिस बिग पावर, हमने ये क्यों क्रिएट की है बिग पावर इतनी. देन what are we going to achieve by handing the reins of the nation to babus, हम क्या अचीव करेंगे जो कि हम हैंड करेंगे द रेंस ऑफ द नेशन टू बाबूस. हमारे जो बाबूस हैं वो भी एक सिटीजन्स हैं, मतलब हमारे जो सिविल सर्वेंट्स हैं वो भी एक सिटीजन्स हैं, इवनली वो एक यूथ भी हैं इंडिया के जो कि हमारी कंट्री को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. Let us understand the ethics. A general definition of ethics follows. Ethics refers to well-based standards of right and wrong that prescribe what humans ought to do, usually in terms of duties, principles, specific virtues, or benefits to society. Ethic एक वेल बेस्ड स्टैंडर्ड जो कि ये डिफाइन करता है क्या राइट है और क्या रॉन्ग है और व्हाट ह्यूमंस आउट टू डू, मतलब ह्यूमंस क्या करेंगे कि वो राइट करेंगे या रॉन्ग करेंगे, यूजली इन टर्म्स ऑफ ड्यूटीज, प्रिंसिपल्स, स्पेसिफिक वर्च्यूज और बेनिफिट्स टू सोसाइटी. दिस डेफिनेशन आइडेंटिफाइज 4 dimensions or sources of ethic, 1 based on the nature of public service and 3 based on the philosophical perspectives to ethics. Duties, the behavior expected of persons who occupy certain roles. That is the obligation taken on when assuming a role or profession. Virtues, qualities that define what a good person is, moral excellence. Principles, fundamental truths that form the basis of for behavior, kind of action that are right or obligatory. That is said by Frankina in 1963-49. Benefits to society, actions that produce the greatest good for the greatest number. So these are the key terms which is defined in the definition of ethics. Now comes the administrative ethics. Administrative ethics refers to a well-based standards of right and wrong that prescribe what public administrators ought to do in terms of duty to public service, principles, virtues and benefits to society. Administrative ethics जो है वो रेफर करता है एक वेल बेस्ड स्टैंडर्ड जो कि राइट या रॉन्ग में हो सकता है. दैट प्रिस्क्राइब व्हाट पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर, मतलब क्या वो सिविल एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर क्या करेंगे इन टर्म्स ऑफ ड्यूटी टू पब्लिक सर्विस, उनकी प्रिंसिपल्स क्या होंगे, वर्च्यूज क्या होंगे और बेनिफिट कैसे पहुंचेगा सोसाइटी को. Manipulation and lack of ethics produce strong negative side effects and reduce organizational effectiveness. जो manipulation और lack of ethics है वो क्या produce करता है, strong negative side effects देता है और reduce करता है organizational effectiveness को. अब आता है administrative ethics denotes the professional code of morality in civil service. S.L. Goel said, administrative ethics is the study of those administrative standards on the basis of which particular action is just to the right or wrong, moral or immoral, good or bad. Germany, first state in modern times to professionalize is civil service. अब कौन सा फर्स्ट स्टेट था जो मॉडर्न टाइम्स का जिसने प्रोफेशनलाइज किया अपने सिविल सर्विसेज को, देन इट इज जर्मनी. इट कैन बी आस्क्ड इन यूपीएससी. सो principle is fairness or legality, duty is serve the public or public interest over self interest, virtue is honesty or integrity. Now what is the importance of administrative ethics? Importance क्या है administrative ethics की? Let us understand that. To check the arbitrary activities of civil servants, to promote the sense of administrative responsibility, to establish and promote the correct relation between citizens and civil services. मतलब ये promote करता है relation किसके किसके बीच में, citizen और civil services के बीच में. To preserve and promote social welfare, public interest and common good. To improve efficiency and effectiveness of administrative process. To strengthen the legitimacy and credibility of public administration. P.R. Dubhasi said, it is of utmost importance that the public administration should be efficient, but it is even more important that it should be ethical. P.R. Dubhasi ने कहा कि जो importance है public administration की वो more होनी चाहिए, efficient होनी चाहिए, but it is उससे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है कि वो एथिकल होनी चाहिए. इट इज सेड ऑफ एन इंडिविजुअल दैट इफ करेक्टर इज लॉस एवरीथिंग इज लॉस. एक इंडिविजुअल के बारे में ये कहा जाता है कि अगर उसका करेक्टर खो गया या लॉस्ट हो गया तो उसकी हर चीज खो जाती है. इट कुड बी स्टेटेड दैट इट्स एथिक्स लॉस एवरीथिंग इज लॉस्ट. ये भी कहा जा सकता है कि एथिक्स अगर खो गई या लॉस्ट हो गई तो उसकी भी हर चीज खो गई. Now comes the standard in public life. Concerned about the status of standards in public life in Britain, the Prime Minister announced setting up of a committee on standards in public life. जो स्टैंडर्ड इन पब्लिक लाइफ था ब्रिटेन का, वो वहाँ के प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने अनाउंस किया एक कमिटी को सेटअप करने के लिए ऑन स्टैंडर्ड्स इन पब्लिक लाइफ in the House of Commons on October 25, 1994. The committee was headed by Lord Nolan. The committee recommended the following 7 principles of public life required to ensure the highest standards of property. First is selflessness. Holders of public office should take decisions slowly in terms of the public interest. They should not do so in order to gain financial or other monetary benefits for themselves, their family or their friends. एक सेल्फलेस बिहेवियर होना चाहिए उनका पब्लिक ऑफिस का, जिससे वो एक डिसीजन जो है वो पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट में ले सकें. उनका ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि to gain financial, that is to gain money or a finance economically they have to be strong, but or other material benefits for themselves, their family or their फ्रेंड्स. मतलब केवल फैमिली और फ्रेंड्स को ही, उनको ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए उनके फैमिली और फ्रेंड्स को भी बेनिफिट इससे पहुंचेगा, बट देयर मेन एम शुड बी दैट दे शुड वर्क इन द पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट. अब आता है इंटीग्रिटी. होल्डर्स ऑफ पब्लिक ऑफिस शुड नॉट प्लेस देमसेल्व्स अंडर एनी फाइनेंशियल और अदर ऑब्लिगेशन टू आउटसाइड इंडिविजुअल और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दैट माइट इन्फ्लुएंस देम इन द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ देयर ऑफिशियल ड्यूटीज. इंटीग्रिटी इज दैट कोई भी अगर पब्लिक ऑफिसर होता है या पब्लिक ऑफिस होल्डर होता है, उसको ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि किसी बाहरी इंसान से उसको फाइनेंशियल हेल्प मिलेगी या फिर फाइनेंशियल या ऑब्लिगेशंस हेल्प मिलेंगी या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से हेल्प मिलेगी तो ये उसके लिए इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर रहा है ये सब चीज़ें, जिससे उसकी जो परफॉर्मेंस है ऑफिशियल ड्यूटीज़ की वो उस पर इफेक्ट पड़ सकता है. Objectivity. In carrying out public business, including making public appointments, awarding contracts, or recommending individual for rewards and benefits, holders of public office should make choice on merit. जो पब्लिक ऑफिस के होल्डर्स होते हैं, पब्लिक ऑफिसर्स होते हैं, उनको अपनी चॉइस मेरिट बेसिस पे रखनी चाहिए. Accountability. Holders of office are accountable for their decisions and actions to the public and must submit themselves to whatever scrutiny is appropriate to their office. Openness. Holders of public office should be as open as possible about all the decisions and action that they take. They should give decisions or reasons for their decisions and restrict information only when the wider public interest clearly demands. मतलब एक ओपननेस रहनी चाहिए, मतलब एक ट्रांसपेरेंसी रहनी चाहिए इंफॉर्मेशन से रिलेटेड. अब आता है नेक्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड इन पब्लिक लाइफ इज ऑनेस्टी. होल्डर्स ऑफ पब्लिक ऑफिस हैव अ ड्यूटी टू डिक्लेयर एनी private interests relating to their public duties and to take steps to resolve any conflicts arising in a way that protects the public इंटरेस्ट. जो प्रोटेक्ट करे पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट को, ऐसे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स को रिजॉल्व करना आना चाहिए. अब आना चाहिए लीडरशिप. अब आता है लीडरशिप. तो होल्डर्स ऑफ पब्लिक ऑफिस शुड प्रमोट एंड सपोर्ट दिस प्रिंसिपल्स बाय लीडरशिप एंड एग्जाम्पल. दिस प्रिंसिपल्स अप्लाई टू ऑल एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ पब्लिक लाइफ. The committee has set them out here for the benefit of all who serve the public in any way. एक मतलब एक जो पब्लिक ऑफिस होल्डर होता है उसके अंदर एक लीडरशिप क्वालिटी होनी चाहिए, मतलब जो कि पब्लिक के लिए सर्व करे, उनकी अच्छी चीजों के लिए, सोसाइटी के लिए जो बेनिफिशियल हो. Now we will talk about the elements of ethics in public administration. अब elements क्या है ethics के in public administration में? पहला है legal. All actions of a public servant should be in accordance with the laws of the land. Observance of rules and procedures of the government is paramount. You should not cut the corners for achieving efficiency for the organization. मतलब एक लीगल तरीके से काम करना चाहिए. Impartiality. The decision of civil servants should be fair. There should be no discrimination in decision based on caste, creed, religion and gender. Now comes the responsibility. A civil servant is responsible for his personal actions, actions of all his subordinates, actions of people to whom he has influence. मतलब उसके खुद के actions, उसके subordinates के actions जो कि people के हैं, जो कि उसके कारण influence हो रहे हैं. तो ये सब responsibility होती है civil servant की. अब आता है नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट इज अकाउंटेबिलिटी. अ पब्लिक सर्वेंट डिराइव्स अ पावर फ्रॉम द लॉ ऑफ अ लैंड एंड वर्क एज अ पब्लिक सर्वेंट. पब्लिक सर्वेंट अपनी पावर कहाँ से डिराइव करता है? लॉ ऑफ लैंड से. और कैसे काम करता है? एज अ पब्लिक सर्वेंट. He is accountable to common people, ministers and other elected representative of people, government departments, courts, comptroller and auditor general of India. Even he is responsible or accountable to media. Commitment. A public servant should be committed to work. He is not allowed to do any external activities like business, profession or social work. Now come the next element is responsive. A public servant must be responsive to public. मतलब वो अच्छा response दे, मतलब response देने वाला हो public servant public को. He is on duty on 24/7. He cannot deny the requirement of public anytime. वो कभी भी deny नहीं कर सकता है public की requirement को. ट्रांसपेरेंसी होनी चाहिए. Transparency means openness and compliance to rule which should be verifiable, visible and according to the norms. The decision of civil servant must be transparent. He must explain the reason to take decision in official file. So whatever he takes an actions, so he has to explain the reason in official file that why he has taken this decision. अब आता है इंटीग्रिटी. द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर मस्ट मेंटेन ऑनेस्टी एंड इंटीग्रिटी इन हिज जॉब. ही शुड नॉट फॉलो करप्ट प्रैक्टिसेस नॉर अलाउ हिज सबऑर्डिनेट्स टू डू द सेम. Now come the next element is moral conduct. A public servant must maintain the highest level of moral conduct in his personal or professional life. जो public servant होता है उसे highest level of moral conduct अपनी लाइफ में मेंटेन करके रखना चाहिए, चाहे वो उनकी पर्सनल लाइफ हो या प्रोफेशनल लाइफ. They must follow all conduct rules prescribed by the government. He should not do anything which is an act that could affect the image of the government. उन्हें ऐसा कोई भी काम नहीं करना चाहिए जिससे गवर्नमेंट की इमेज पे अफेक्ट पड़े. अब आता है नेक्स्ट इज नेशनल इंटरेस्ट. A public servant should always work in the national interest. The interests of citizens should be the most important for them. They should not criticize the government policy. जितने भी पब्लिक सर्वेंट होते हैं उन्हें अलाउड नहीं होता है कि गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसीज को वो क्रिटिसाइज कर सकें. Now let us talk about interruption of ethics in public administration. क्या क्या रुकावटें हैं? पहला है करप्शन, सेकंड इज फेवरेटिज्म, ब्राइबरी, इंडिफरेंटिज्म, ऑफिशनेस, नेपोटिज्म, डिपार्टमेंटलिज्म, लॉलेसनेस, पॉलिटिकल इन्फ्लुएंस, एक्सटर्नल प्रेशर. करप्शन में इन्वॉल्व होते हैं कई पब्लिक ऑफिसर्स. फेवरेटिज्म मतलब वो फेवरेट बनना चाहते हैं कई मिनिस्टर्स के जिससे उनको प्रमोशन मिले, कुछ भी हेल्प आउट हो. ब्राइबरी लाइक जैसे मनी लेते हैं इंडिविजुअल्स या किसी भी अदर पार्टी या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से. अब नेपोटिज्म भी आ सकता है, नेपोटिज्म जो कि आजकल काफ़ी मुद्दा बना हुआ है. डिपार्टमेंटलिज्म, डिपार्टमेंट्स अपनी चॉइस का चाहते हैं जिससे वो सोर्स लगाते हैं और उनको वो डिपार्टमेंट अपनी चॉइस का मिलता है. अब आता है पॉलिटिकल इन्फ्लुएंस और एक्सटर्नल प्रेशर्स. कई मिनिस्टर्स का प्रेशर उनके ऊपर रहता है, एक्सटर्नल प्रेशर्स रहते हैं, बाहरी प्रेशर्स उनके ऊपर रहते हैं. सो दीज आर सम ऑफ द इंटरप्शन ऑफ एथिक्स इन पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. What are the need of ethics and values in public administration? Needs क्या है ethics और values की public administration में? Ethical concerns and dilemmas in government and private institution. Ethical concerns और dilemmas की जरूरत है government और private institutions में. Bureaucrat had discretionary power, therefore he must be provided with guiding principles to prevent abuse of power. ब्यूरोक्रेट के पास डिस्क्रिशनरी पावर्स होती हैं जो कि उन्हें प्रोवाइड कर होती हैं गाइडिंग प्रिंसिपल्स के थ्रू, जिससे वो प्रिवेंट हो सकते हैं अब्यूजिंग पावर को करने में, जो उनकी पावर का गलत यूज हो रहा है उसको बचा सकते हैं. enable them to become responsible to people, रिस्पॉन्सिव हो सकते हैं, रिस्पॉन्स दे सकते हैं पब्लिक को, और हेल्प हिम टेक शॉर्टकट टू अराइव एट राइट डिसीजन. Management policies, procedures, and practices should promote ethical conduct. Now, let us talk about the modes of corruption. The Central Vigilance Commission has once identified 27 modes of corruption as follows. जो CVC है उसने एक बार 27 modes of corruption पाए, जो कि ये हैं: misappropriation of public money or stores, incurring pecuniary obligation of persons with whom or the public servants have officially dealing, showing favors to contractors or firms, borrowing money from contractors or firms with whom one has official dealings, claiming false TA, HRA, etc., possession of disappropriate assets, acquiring immovable property, etc., without prior permission or intimation, causing loss to government by negligence or otherwise, abuse of official position or powers, acceptance of illegal gratification in recruitment, posting, transfers, promotions, etc., misuse of government employees for personal work, production of false certificate of age of birth, of community, caste or tribe certificates, irregularity in the reservation of seats in railways or air, non-delivery of money order, insured covers, valuable payable parcels, placement of new postage stamp by old ones, unauthorized occupation or subletting of government quarters. There are some other mode of corruptions which are identified by CVC. Misuse of imported and allotted quotas by various firms with conveyance of public servants, irregularity in the grant of telephone connections, moral turpitude, acceptance of gifts, underassessment of income tax, estate duty, etc. for pecuniary gain, misuse of advances, sanction for purchase of scooters or cars or other advances, abnormal delay in settlements of claims for compensation to displaced persons, wrong assessment of claims of displaced persons, cheating in connections with the purchase or sale of plots for residential purpose, unauthorized occupation or subletting of government quarters, acceptance of substandard stores or work. Now, let us understand about public administration ethics model. Public administration ethics model is about instruments for answerability, supervising systems, official socialization, outlining managerial tasks, effective communication, establishment of whistleblowing mechanism. So these are the public administration ethics model. Now, let us understand the difference between a code of conduct and a code of ethics. Code of conduct, a legally enforceable code of conduct, sets out the standards of behavior expected of those working in the पब्लिक सर्विस. ये स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ बिहेवियर होता है जो कि एक्सपेक्ट होता है वर्किंग जो कि वर्क कर रहे हैं पब्लिक सर्विस में. वेयर इज इन कोड ऑफ एथिक्स सच अ कोड कंटेन्स अ डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ वैल्यूज फॉर द सिविल सर्विस reflecting public expectation of the relationship between the civil service and the government, the legislature and the members of the public. Code of conduct, the Civil Service Code outlines the civil services code value and the standards of behavior expected of all civil servants in upholding these values. Code of ethics, it entails a specific reference to political impartiality, maintenance of the highest ethical standards, accountability for actions and responsibilities to the government. Code of conduct in India, the current set of ethical norms are the conduct rules contained in the Central Services Conduct Rules 1964 and analogs rules applicable to members of All India Services or employees of various state governments. Code of ethics. There is no code of ethics prescribed for civil servants in India, although such codes exist in other countries. जो code of ethics है वो civil servants जो इंडिया में है उनके लिए नहीं है, बल्कि ये अदर कंट्रीज में हो सकता है. Code of conduct. The code of behavior as included in the code conduct rule contain general norms like maintaining integrity and absolute devotion to duty. Code of ethics. There's need for more generic norms to be laid down by way of accepted conduct for the civil servants as recommended by the HOTA committee. So, code of conduct. These conduct rules do not constitute a code of ethics. So, it is all about the difference between both of them. Now, there is one question related with means answer writing. Question is, administrative ethics is a process of independently critiquing decision standards based on core social values that can be discovered within reasonable organizational boundaries that can be defined subject to the personal and professional accountability. Explain. Please explain in 150 words. Answer this question. Hope you understand this lecture. Thank you.